One ROM hack that has caught my eye this year is Pokémon Emerald Seaglass. It overhauls the visuals of Pokémon Emerald to make it closer to the Gen 2 games, creating a look that I think has never been done before in a Gen 3 hack. While it adds plenty of features from the modern games, it seems to me that a unique aesthetic has drawn most players in. Many of you have been here from the days where I made videos about solo sweeps in difficulty ROM hacks. I have ventured into different content since then and haven't touched a ROM hack until I encountered Emerald Seaglass. So for this video, I'm taking a shot at rebranding my old content to look for the best Pokémon to solo each gym leader in Emerald Seaglass. There are some things I want to make clear before I start. I avoided any kind of EV training by leveling my Pokémon with EXP candies. This makes the best options for each gym leader easily accessible. If you level up through battles, even better. They'll be stronger than what you see here. Every single Pokémon you catch has at least 2 maxed out IVs, but I never maxed them all out to keep it fair. Only guaranteed wins made the cut. I never relied on RNG for dodging crits, inaccurate moves, and status effects. I played the game on challenge mode, which sets level caps that I never exceeded. I avoided using items in battle and also the wishing well in Rustboro City. And finally, natures can easily be changed with mints from this shop, so stock up on them to avoid backtracking. With that out of the way, let's start with the first gym leader, Roxanne. The game throws many Pokémon at you before the first gym, but I only found 2 Pokémon that were able to safely solo Roxanne, Mankey and Meditite. Mankey can take on this battle in many ways, but the best method is to hunt for one with Gorilla Tactics. It doesn't even need to hit the level cap to reliably karate chop to victory. You can also get close combat as an egg move on it if you really want to. The Dexnav is already sounding like an overpowered tool, right? Well, just wait until you hear the next one. Now for Meditite. It can learn Drain Punch via the Dexnav, and just this move is actually enough to solo sweep at level 6. It does require some luck with crits and damage rolls, but I just wanted to mention it because I found it a bit funny. At higher levels, it's pretty much untouchable. Both Pokémon are very good for this fight, but I have to choose a winner. While Mankey doesn't necessarily need the interaction of the Dexnav to solo sweep, I think Meditite is the stronger option here, especially because it doesn't need to grind up to the level cap. Brawly is up next, and I see many people have been struggling against his new team. The biggest roadblock is his new ace, Heracross. However, I found a Pokémon that makes this fight a breeze. If any of you have played Auras, you might know that Tailo can get very early access to Boom Burst and Brave Bird through the Dexnav. Well, it's exactly the same in this game. You can catch one right outside the gym and it's ready to go at level 17 or 18, as long as your speed stat is above 42. Brave Bird is very overwhelming power-wise at this stage in the game, but you do have to watch out for the recoil damage. I make sure to one-shot Makuhita or Meditite with Wing Attack, otherwise Tailo will KO itself after the sweep. If needed, you can always increase Tailo's damage by either increasing your EVs or by catching a Sparrow holding a sharp beak on Route 103. The third gym leader, Wattson, is still as annoying as ever. I immediately searched for a ground type to prevent dealing with paralysis shenanigans. I came across 2 of them, Sandslash and Vibrava. Sandslash wins this fight very safely. Get Hone Claws as an egg move through the Dexnav, use it 3 to 4 times at the start of the battle, use Rapid Spin twice on Volbeat to build up speed, and the others will go down with 1 attack from Sand Tomb or Magnitude. You can also do this without Hone Claws, but if Wattson gets a few crits in, you might be in trouble. Vibrava is also a strong option against Wattson, but it needs a certain amount of attack to one-shot Manectric with a Sheer Force, Soft Sand, boosted Bulldoze. Otherwise, Manectric gets a chance to KO with a Howl boosted critical hit quick attack if Vibrava's HP is low enough. It can easily take out the other Pokémon though. I also want to quickly mention that my level 22 Trapinch can also solo sweep Wattson with a bit of luck. It's less bulky and significantly slower than Vibrava, but has a lot more attack. If it does not get crit and bypasses Magneton's confusion, it can win. I think Sandslash is the best option here. simply because it doesn't need to rely on the deck snap to perform well and it's bulky enough to survive a crit or two. For Flannery, I have 2 Pokémon that can sweep her team, Dugtrio and the buffed Masquerain. Dugtrio can sweep Flannery's team quickly without fear of getting crit. Flannery's first Pokémon, Slugma, gets one-shot by Bulldoze. The tanky Torkoal is up next and can actually survive 2 attacks from Dugtrio. If you want to maximize your damage output against Torkoal before it hits Dugtrio with a boosted overheat, use Sand Tomb first and follow up with Dig. Torkoal will take residual damage from Sand Tomb for 2 turns, once after using the move and a second time after using Dig. This brings its HP low enough to guarantee a KO. Then the remaining Pokémon, Camerupt and Flareon, get one-shot by Dig. Masquerain now has an ability called Water Power, which is basically the same as Araquanid's ability. Mine was able to outspeed everything with a speed increasing nature and easily knocked out all of Flannery's Pokémon with 1 Bubble Beam each time. Both Pokémon are great for Flannery. Masquerain has more of a brain-dead strategy, but Diglett can be found not far from the gym, so it's easy to pick up and train quickly. I'll pick Masquerain as the best Pokémon to beat Flannery simply because it's faster. Next up is Norman. Here I found a total of 4 Pokémon that perform flawlessly against him: Primeape, Medicham, Breloom and Heracross. For every Pokémon that swept Norman, I gave them a Persim or Lumberry so they got a free turn to set up on Spinda. It always started with Teeter Dance to cause confusion. Also, since Flannery is defeated, the ability patch is now unlocked in the shop right outside the 5th gym. Anyways, let's start with Heracross. I patched the hidden ability Moxie onto it, which makes it extremely powerful in combination with its good speed tier. I teached it Brick Break and Bulk Up, which is more than enough to solo sweep this fight. Just use Bulk Up once on Spinda and go to town with Brick Break. Next is Primeape with Close Combat and Gorilla Tactics. There is not much to explain here. Just spam the egg move Close Combat and win. Then we have Medicham with Pure Power, Bulk Up, Force Palm and Detect. On turn 1, just use Bulk Up like the other entries and Oko Spinda. Hearing Detect earlier probably rang a bell for some people. Yes, you indeed max out Medicham's attack on Slaking while wasting its active turns with Detect. After maxing out the attack, there's no threat left. And finally there's Breloom with Technician, Bulk Up, Power Up Punch and Mag Punch. Start the fight by using Bulk Up on Spinda and Oko it with Power Up Punch. Do it once more on Slaking and sweep the remaining Pokémon with Mag Punch. This is also the only Pokémon that can prevent a nasty surprise from Norman's Quick Claw Politoed, since Mag Punch has priority. It's hard to choose a winner here. Primeape is the only one that needs an egg move to solo sweep, while the others can just be caught in the wild with or without a hidden ability. I am honestly leaning towards Breloom because of very niche reasons, but the main reason being that it can avoid getting hit by Politoed. Wynona's diverse flying type team posed a real challenge. Her team has different weaknesses and stat spreads, but I was able to find one Pokémon that could take them all on. With buffed stats, an expanded move pool, and the Soul Heart ability, Frozlass seemed to be the most fitting Pokémon to solo sweep Wynona. With the previously mentioned buffs, it's even more suited to be a fast special attacker now. I gave it a moveset consisting of Aurora Beam, Thunderbolt, Drainkiss and Ice Shard. Mine didn't have an item, but Nevermelt Ice or Magnet is recommended if you are lacking in damage. The battle starts with Wynona leading Pharaoh, which Frozlass can Oko with either Aurora Beam or Thunderbolt. Next is Skarmory with priority on Aerial Ace, but it's not enough to take out Frozlass with a critical hit. Use Thunderbolt to continue the fight. Frozlass is at 2 boosts now, making the subsequent matchups trivial. Tropius with Thick Fat is still weak to Ice. Pelipper is quite weak to Electric, leaving Altaria as the final Pokémon to take a +4 Aurora Beam to the face. Wynona was definitely the most difficult gym leader in the game, even outside of trying to find a solo sweeper. Luckily, Frozlass was made to be quite OP and snowballed through the fight. As most of you know, Tate Liza is a double battle. Since this is not exactly a solo sweep, I will just share a strategy where both your Pokémon are guaranteed to survive the fight. Ghost types seemed like the best candidates to me, so I trained up a Gengar and Bayonet. Gengar will only attack once or twice in this battle, as it's mostly here to attract psychic attacks from the opponents. Bayonet is the main damage dealer in this fight. I started the double battle with Gengar using Shadow Ball on Mismagius and Bayonet using Knockoff or Rage Fist on Claydol. Mismagius will always set up one Calm Mind at the start of the battle, so I want this thing gone as soon as possible. Gengar will most likely tank a Psychic from Claydol, but the damage is reduced by its berry. From this point on, Gengar will switch between Protect and Substitute to survive any remaining attacks that come its way. The AI can always act a bit inconsistent, so it's possible that Bayonet gets hit by an attack, but it shouldn't change the outcome of the fight. There are most likely even more duos out there for this fight. Dark Aura, Houndoom and Honchkrow come to mind, but I haven't tried those out. Finally, we face Juan, the last gym leader. His team proved to be difficult to solo sweep, but I found one Pokémon who was able to do the job. Leafeon is super overpowered for this fight. With adaptability and a Miracle Seed, it can one-shot every Pokémon with Leaf Blade after one Swords Dance. Even a Pokémon not weak to grass cannot survive it, and that's without relying on crits. The only catch here is that Leafeon needs at least 118 speed to act before Starmie, which can otherwise flinch Leafeon. Fortunately, it's not difficult to achieve that speed stat with at least 30 IVs in speed or a bit of EV training. It's also very easy to get. EVs can be chained with the Dexnav, and Leafstones can simply be bought in Lava Ridge Town, making those a lot more accessible than the OG Emerald. That was it for the gym leaders of Emerald Seaglass. Let's line up all the winners. For Roxanne, Meditite is the best Pokémon. Brawly is extremely weak to Talos Brave Bird spam. Wattson gets buried by Sandslash.
Flannery was bested by Masquerain.
Norman can probably be swept by every single fighting type in the game, but I think Breloom is the best one out of the bunch. Winona is easily beaten by Frostlass. Tate Liza can be tackled in many ways, but one guaranteed way to beat him is with Gengar and Bayonet. The final gym leader, Juan, could not withstand the Leaf Blade spam from Leafeon. If you found the video helpful and enjoyable, leave a like on it and subscribe if you want to see more Pokémon content like this. Definitely let me know if you want me to cover other ROM hacks or the mainline games even. Until next time, have a good one.